Hi, today I have a reading from A Course in Miracles. This is Chapter 9. I'm trying to remember the title. The Acceptance of the Atonement. I think that's the whole title, yep. And we are in Section 2, which is called Finding It. Okay, it's called The Answer to Prayer. So, paragraph 1. Everyone who ever tried to use prayer to ask for something has experienced what appears to be failure. This is not only true in connection with specific things that might be harmful, but also in connection with requests that are strictly in line with this course. The latter in particular might be incorrectly interpreted as proof that the course does not mean what it says. You must remember, however, that the Course states, and repeatedly, that its purpose is the escape from fear. I appreciated that reminder. You must remember, however, that the Course states, and repeatedly, that its purpose is the escape from fear. So what's a day for? Escaping from fear. And if I don't admit I'm fearful, how am I going to escape from fear? Every not good feeling I have, or physical tension of any kind, is fear. And what's my purpose? My purpose is to escape from it. You must remember, however, that the Course states, and repeatedly, that its purpose is the escape from fear. Isn't it funny when we forget? Or isn't it funny when we believe the ego telling us that we want things and we need things and we need to accomplish and achieve? Not really. We just need to escape from fear, and it's nice to have that reminder. Okay, paragraph 2. Let us suppose then that what you ask of the Holy Spirit is what you really want, but you are still afraid of it. Should this be the case, your attainment of it would no longer be what you want. This is why certain specific forms of healing are not achieved, even when the state of healing is. An individual may ask for physical healing because he is fearful of bodily harm. At the same time, if he were healed physically, the threat to his thought system might be considerably more fearful to him than its physical expression. In this case, he is not really asking for release from fear, but for the removal of a symptom that he himself selected. This request is therefore not for healing at all. So going back to, at the same time, if he were healed physically, the threat to his thought system might be considerably more fearful to him than his physical expression. So this helps us remember it's okay if it seems in ourselves or in another physical healing has not been achieved. It's okay, because what we're working on is the escape from fear. And if the threat to our thought system is too great, we might not allow that physical change to take place. But we're still working with Holy Spirit on escaping from fear. And Holy Spirit is right here helping us and everyone. So whether it's in us or in someone else, if we see something that looks like it's not healed, it's okay, because we can look through it to the Christ in ourselves and the Christ in everyone, and we're unified there. So we just learn to look consistently to the place where we're unified and to work with our teacher, with Jesus, when we become aware of fearful thought, and to hand those fearful thoughts over and to refocus. Today I'm refocusing toward all things are echoes for the voice of God. So behind everything I see and experience, no matter how the ego is judging it, is the echo for the voice of God. And so I can be still and listen and tune in and see where I'm guided. Okay, paragraph 3. The Bible emphasizes that all prayer is answered, and this is indeed true. The very fact that the Holy Spirit has been asked for anything will ensure a response. Yet it is equally certain that no response given by him will ever be one that would increase fear. It is possible that his answer will not be heard. It is impossible that it will be lost. There are many answers you have already received but have not yet heard. I assure you they are waiting for you. So yet it is equally certain that no response given by him, Holy Spirit, will ever be one that would increase fear. And working in conjunction with this, when we stop during the day and consider and we ask, what should we do? We ask Jesus, what should we do? If we feel fear, don't go ahead, because our purpose is the escape from fear. So Holy Spirit, Jesus, they're going to line things up in our mind so we can move forward easily, effortlessly, even involuntarily, very naturally, without fear. Yet it is equally certain that no response given by him, Holy Spirit, will ever be one that would increase fear. Our purpose is the escape from fear. And if we don't, it's very reassuring to hear that every time we ask for help, the Holy Spirit responds. We may refuse to listen. That's a pattern of ours. That's okay, because every answer we have been given is saved up for us. And when we're ready to receive them, we do receive them. So nothing is lost. And going in to ask, even if it seems you don't get a response, is well worth it, because it's in your savings account. And eventually you will get into that savings account. Okay. Paragraph 4. If you would know your prayers are answered, never doubt a Son of God. Do not question him and do not confound him, for your faith in him is your faith in yourself. If you would know God and his answer, believe in me whose faith in you cannot be shaken. Can you ask of the Holy Spirit truly and doubt your brother? Believe his words are true because of the truth that is in him. You will unite with the truth in him and his words will be true. As you hear him, you will hear me. Listening to truth is the only way you can hear it now and finally know it. So isn't it amazing that truth is in all our divine siblings, all our brothers, and it's there to be listened to. And I don't have to bring with me any perception of the person, the past, what I think this person is capable of, where I think this one is on their spiritual evolution, what I think they're capable of communicating to me. No sense of differential, I know more or less than this one. Truth can be spoken through all the ones, all the ones. And that's something we're remembering. You will unite with the truth in him and his words will be true. So think of that. Every word anybody speaks to us can be truth. And every day is for practice. We practice aligning with the truth present and alive. The reality of everyone and everything is the truth in them. So as we practice aligning with that and resting there with the truth in everyone and everything, then when they speak to us, we do hear truth. The same truth that's in us. It's a mirror. So if we have a self-interest in staying more spiritually evolved than someone we would call else, we would try to keep ourselves a little bit ahead. Or if we have a self-interest in following somebody else and we really want to cling to the idea that we need someone else to show us, we might keep ourselves a little bit behind. But if we know truth is equally within ourselves and within the one we're with, and that we share one truth, we are this truth together, then when they speak, we will hear truth. And you may have had experiences of this where the whole universe seems to be speaking to you through every single thing and person, and it's amazing. And sometimes we get a free sample like that, and then we seem to recede out of that experience. But just knowing that it's possible and remembering the truth of us helps us to let go of that fear. We're escaping from fear. Okay, paragraph 5. The message your brother gives you is up to you. What does he say to you? What would you have him say? Your decision about him determines the message you receive. Remember that the Holy Spirit is in him, and his voice speaks to you through him. What can so holy a brother tell you except truth? But are you listening to it? Your brother may not know who he is, but there is a light in his mind that does know. This light can shine into yours, giving truth to his words and making you able to hear them. His words are the Holy Spirit's answer to you. Is your faith in him strong enough to let you hear? So everyone and everything can channel Holy Spirit to us because they are spirit with us. So if we remove all the shackles of the past that we've had on anyone or anything, and we just allow Holy Spirit to communicate to us through all the things, all the people, all the creatures, all the everything, then we're on the right track. This light can shine into yours, giving truth to his words and making you able to hear them. So if we think of every word anyone speaks to us can be truth, can be the light shining from what seems to be another one's mind into our mind, because the same light of truth is present and alive in every mind. And so our divine siblings can speak to us nothing but truth, and our divine siblings can make us able to hear spirit and everything. They have that power. They don't need to have read A Course in Miracles. They don't need to have done anything specific. They are what they are forever, and we can allow that. Okay, paragraph 6. You can no more pray for yourself alone than you can find joy for yourself alone. Prayer is the restatement of inclusion, directed by the Holy Spirit under the laws of God. Salvation is of your brother. The Holy Spirit extends from your mind to his and answers you. Answers you, the you is italicized. You cannot hear the voice for God in yourself alone, because you are not alone, and his answer is only for what you are. You will not know the trust I have in you unless you extend it. You will not trust the guidance of the Holy Spirit or believe that it is for you unless you hear it in others. It must be for your brother because it is for you. Would God have created a voice for you alone? Could you hear his answer except as he answers all of God's sons? Hear of your brother what you would have me hear of you, for you would not want me to be deceived. And the me is Jesus. So going back, you will not trust the guidance of the Holy Spirit or believe that it is for you unless you hear it in others. So to be guided through our day, we really need to open up to hearing that guidance through everyone and everything. And it's okay if we encounter resistance to this. It's fear, and our purpose is the escape from fear. But we can orient toward the guidance of the Holy Spirit coming to us through everyone. You will not trust the guidance of the Holy Spirit or believe that it is for you unless you hear it in others. Think of how amazing that is to have Holy Spirit speaking to you with gentleness and love and joy through everyone, and that this is possible and necessary. It's necessary to allow. Okay, paragraph 7. I love you for the truth in you as God does. Your deceptions may deceive you, but they cannot deceive me. Knowing what you are, I cannot doubt you. I hear only the Holy Spirit in you, who speaks to me through you. If you would hear me, hear my brothers in whom God's voice speaks. The answer to all prayers lies in them. You will be answered as you hear the answer in everyone. Do not listen to anything else, or you will not hear truly. So we want to hear truly. We want to escape from fear, and we want to hear truly. If you would hear me, hear my brothers in whom God's voice speaks. So when we go out into the world or we have a personal interaction, we can orient toward hearing God's voice and not thinking, I'm encountering this personality. I have to put my defenses up to operate my way through this experience. And this personality is going to speak to me predictably of what I think this personality is, a type of person or a specific person I know. So I already think I know who they are, and I already think I know their patterns. If I'm relying on stereotypes or an idea of the past, I'm totally ignoring the great love that is alive in their hearts because it's alive in mine. So if I can start putting more of my attention there, I can hear my brothers in whom God's voice speaks. If you would hear me, hear my brothers in whom God's voice speaks. There's no threat in hearing that, but the ego doesn't want to hear this. So every time we encounter resistance or uncertainty today, or a heavy, tired feeling, it's ego's resistance to hearing God's voice. But we're not ego. And so we can let that resistance go. Okay, paragraph 8. Believe in your brothers because I believe in you, and you will learn that my belief in you is justified. Believe in me by believing in them for the sake of what God gave them. They will answer you if you learn to ask only truth of them. Do not ask for blessings without blessing them, for only in this way can you learn how blessed you are. By following this way, you are seeking the truth in you. This is not going beyond yourself, but toward yourself. Hear only God's answer in His Son's, and you are answered. So this is how Holy Spirit and Jesus work through relationships, which is much faster than, for example, just meditating. Working through relationships and inviting God's voice in is much faster. So they, our brothers, our divine siblings, will answer you if you learn to ask only truth of them. So we can orient ourselves before we go into a situation where we're having a conversation or when we're thinking of someone, because when someone comes to mind, that's a holy encounter. So if we get in the right frame of mind and know that they can answer us, even if it's mind to mind or in a physical interaction, they will answer us with truth. They will answer us with the voice of God, with the voice of Spirit. If we learn to really settle into and believe that everybody possesses the same voice of Spirit, it's our true harmonic shared voice. So really having faith in and believing what they are, believing in the Spirit in them. Okay. Paragraph 9. To disbelieve is to side against or to attack. To believe is to accept and to side with. To believe is not to be credulous, but to accept and appreciate. What you do not, I'm turning the page, what you do not believe, you do not appreciate, and you cannot be grateful for what you do not value. There is a price you will pay for judgment, because judgment is a setting of a price, and as you set it, you will pay it. So going back to what you do not believe, you do not appreciate, and you cannot be grateful for what you do not value. So that's easy for me to be in that setting of not appreciating who I'm with or who I'm thinking of. I'm actually more likely to think of old templates and old repetitions when I think of people. But just seeing this invitation to have faith in what they are is very beautiful, very loving. It feels wonderful. So just to think about, I can appreciate everyone for who they truly are, and they are this one. And we can appreciate each other. We can be grateful for the truth present in all of us, for the love in our hearts, for what unites us, for how we're one as the Christ. We can appreciate that, and we can be aware of it. And then we can allow everyone to speak to us with God's voice. That's just beautiful. So maybe I don't value it fully yet, but just starting to see it feels like a very beautiful invitation. What you do not believe, you do not appreciate, and you cannot be grateful for what you do not value. So every interaction is an opportunity to appreciate. And as we practice this, it gets easier and easier, and then it becomes natural, and then it becomes what we expect. Instead of expecting a repetition of a personality pattern, we expect just to encounter our equal, and the voice for Spirit, the voice for God, the love and gentleness of that. That's what we come to expect from everyone. Okay, paragraph 10. If paying is equated with getting, you will set the price low. Is that where I am? Yeah. You will set the price low but demand a high return. You will have forgotten, however, that to price is to value, so that your return is in proportion to your judgment of worth. I'm going to interrupt myself for a moment because this part of the course, for years, I had to read very slowly. I just wasn't getting it. I mean, I was getting it. I could comprehend the meaning, but it just wouldn't stay with me. And every time I revisited it, I had to go really slow to let it soak in. And now I feel like, oh, I am more ready to see this in everyone now. I finally let down enough of my defenses that I'm ready to, am eager to experience this. I don't need to try to have a value that doesn't belong to everyone else simultaneously. So what a relief. Okay. If paying is associated with giving, it cannot be perceived as loss, and the reciprocal relationship of giving and receiving will be recognized. The price will then be set high because of the value of the return. The price for getting is to lose sight of value, making it inevitable that you will not value what you receive. Valuing it little, you will not appreciate it, and you will not want it. So if paying is associated with giving, it cannot be perceived as loss, and the reciprocal relationship of giving and receiving will be recognized. So paying is my recognition of the Christ in you. I give you my awareness of the Christ in you, and then I receive it back. And no one has to consciously know about a Christ concept. It just means that the truth is alive in you, and as I recognize that, I'm paying. I'm accepting that truth is in you, so I'm paying. And then you speak truth back to me, and then I can receive. So I pay and I receive, and it's the same thing. It's the oneness, it's the truth, it's the Christ that belongs to all of us. Okay, let's see. I think that's it. Paragraph 11. Never forget then that you set the value on what you receive and price it by what you give. To believe that it is possible to get much for little is to believe that you can bargain with God. God's laws are always fair and perfectly consistent. By giving, you receive, but to receive is to accept, not to get. It is impossible not to have, but it is possible not to know you have. The recognition of having is the willingness for giving, and only by this willingness can you recognize what you have. What you give is therefore the value you put on what you have, being the exact measure of the value you put on it, and this in turn is the measure of how much you want it. So it's dawning in me all the self-protectiveness. Separate self-protectiveness has to go. All the rigidity, all the keeping oneself safe, all the ritualistic patterns that we believe keep us safe, our focus on our separate self. It's all got to go, and it will go under guidance. So the recognition of having is the willingness for giving, and only by this willingness can you recognize what you have. So you have what they have, you have truth, they have truth. You are the Christ, they are the Christ, you are spirit, they are spirit. It's the same everywhere. And so we give that to them by being aware that it's there. And then they bounce back to us the awareness of what's beautiful and eternal in us. We can share this awareness. As we see it in them, they can see it in us. And they can speak from this place where we are joined. Okay, paragraph 12. You can ask of the Holy Spirit then only by giving to Him, and you can give to Him only where you recognize Him. If you recognize Him in everyone, consider how much you will be asking of Him, and how much you will receive. He will deny you nothing because you have denied Him nothing, and so you can share everything. This is the way, and the only way to have His answer, because His answer is all you can ask for and want. Say then to everyone, because I will to know myself, I see you as God's Son and my brother. So you can ask of the Holy Spirit then only by giving to Him, and you can give to Him only where you recognize Him. So as I go off into my day here, that's my job. I'm here to recognize Holy Spirit everywhere, and everyone and everything. That's how I give to him, and then that's how I receive. So here we go. And wishing you well. Happy healing, happy recognizing.